Jamestown this morning, Glenn. I'm here today with Syin Lobster, and she's with Ladies of Inspiration and Success. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, you guys have an event going on. It has something to do with domestic violence. Tell us about your event first.
Well, this is the second domestic violence event we've had. We had a previous one in 2012, but I got back into an abusive relationship, so didn't have any more events since then because they say with abusive relationships, and I didn't really believe it at first. It takes 7 times to finally really get free, and as many of them as I have been in adult life, I now believe that. So I'm glad to be making that transition from domestic violence survivor to overcomer and ready to give back to other women.
Now, in order to get back to other women, your event's coming up this Saturday. Tell us about your event, where it's going to be at, and what time.
Okay, the event will be this Sunday actually from 1 to 3 at the O'Fallon Park YMCA that's located on West Florissant 4343. West Florissant will have some other women speakers as well, some women who've been impacted by domestic violence, and some of them are now business owners, entrepreneurs. They've made that transition and they're on to the successful portion of their life, and they're willing to give back and share a little bit of their story.
Now, how can women register for this event?
No registration, just show up from 1 to 3 on Sunday at the O'Fallon YMCA. If you want, you can give me a call if you have any questions. My number is 314-877-8144. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that anybody has. And the event, I guess I shouldn't say is just for women because men experience domestic violence as well. This year, I just have a panel of women, but in the future, I plan on expanding because domestic violence, it impacts the whole family and our whole community. I wish I could say women were well, I don't wish I could say women were just victims, but it impacts women, men, even people of the LGBT community are impacted by domestic violence. It's kind of like this virus that we're dealing with right now. It doesn't respect race, it doesn't respect income, it doesn't respect religion. None of those things is something that can happen to anybody.
So, how prevalent is domestic violence today, especially in St. Louis?
In Missouri, well, I know for Black women, over 40% of Black women experience it in their lifetime. And then 41.8% of women in Missouri have experienced it. So it's really a big deal. And we're number 2 nationally for women being killed with guns due to domestic violence. I was able to talk on a town hall yesterday that Senator Brian Williams had with a panel of wonderful people, and the statistics are just mind blowing. So I'm glad that him and other legislative leaders like Representative Marlon Anderson are trying to get legislation passed to make a difference and make an impact.
Speaking of domestic violence, where can women turn to? Is there a website or a center that they can go to here in St. Louis?
There are lots of resources. Where they can start is the Missouri Coalition of Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. They have a resource page there, and you can call and get different information, or locally, they can reach out to an organization called Safe Connections. They help people. And, there are 2 organizations that I guess are more near and dear to my heart because Black women founded those, and one is Jadasa. It's in North County, and they are on Facebook as well as you can Google them. And Life Source Consultants, they're located in Ferguson, and they also have a Black woman founder. So I think that's really interesting because sometimes as Black, I mean, it impacts everybody the same, but sometimes it's just it's something to have somebody that has more similar to you help you go through something.
Now, listen, one more time. It's this Sunday, which is the
4th,
24th of October. And what time is it going to be?
it's from 1 to 3 at the O'Fallon Park YMCA, and that's located on West Florissant.
Great. Listen, Lobster, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Event. We really appreciate it. Domestic violence, I didn't know it was 40% in the state of Missouri, especially in St. Louis. That's very interesting. I appreciate you giving us that information.
Thank you.